Welcome. This video is about the latest changes that we released with version 3.1. It's been a long release, and our software cycle is such that we continuously release updates. But when there's always a goal in mind, a milestone that we were planning on reaching, and at this point we actually reached that milestone, and we call that a new version. A major version update, which is version 3.1 in this case. So let's talk about some of the updates that we did over the past couple of months. So the first one is there was in every state there is different rules as far as the license, registration, and title goes. And before in the system, you had to keep track of these fees in two fields, and now you can actually separate every single one of them. And if we go to create a new deal, for example, here, you can see that in the structure we have registration, license, and title fees all separated out, and you can enter all of them separately. One of the things that we also did is free values for custom fields. Now let's look at what that means. And I'm going to go to the admin section, options, where we can configure the custom fields. And here you can see we have a few custom fields, and each of these values are when there are any values entered for a custom field. This is custom vehicle field 2, for example, custom vehicle field 1. These values are presented in a drop-down fashion. So if I go to, for example, vehicles here, I can see that they're going to be shown in a drop-down fashion. Here you can see. But what happens when I don't enter any values at all for a custom field? I'm going to say new custom field, and I will leave this section empty, and I'm going to update my options. And now when I go to vehicles, I want to edit. Now you can enter whatever you want. Great car, and it becomes a new custom field that is you can enter any values that you want. What else? We introduced now you can keep track of the insurance information in the system. So let's look at the deal that we just created. There's now an insurance tab, and here you can copy the buyer information. So let's select, for example, an existing customer with let's see, let's select this one. There's not a lot of information here, it just says test, test, test. But let's go to insurance. I want to copy the buyer information. I can copy the buyer information, and the insurance company, you can actually set the insurance companies here that you do business with, and you can set insurance agents. And this information is basically used in the forms, very applicable, agreement to provide insurance, and similar forms. So you can now keep track of that information in the system. One of the other changes that we did is in the structure tab. As you can see, it is quite a bit of a remodel here. We show upfront if it's a finance deal, like if you see an amount financed here, it just shows you a nice truth in lending disclosures along with inline of Regulation Z for the federal government. We separated out the fees, the vehicle fees, aftermarket products, trade-in taxes, and as you can see, as I'm going down, this summary section slides down in the screen. And then finally we have the cash payments and rebate and loan information. And obviously this is not, I mean, this is currently we don't have anything in this field, in this deal, but you know, we have some documentation fee and all that stuff. So that's why it's assuming that it's a finance deal, because there's amount financed. Well, let's enter, let's say that I actually want to pay it cash. So if I save it like that, you'll see that the top section has gone, because now this became a cash deal. Now, if you look at the payment information, loan information here, there are a lot of different lenders that you can select. We used to have an odd days and calculation here. So what odd days is, let's say you actually got your loan on the 30th of the month, and bank has a policy that you're not allowed to get the loans, pay the loans on the 30th of the month, because some months don't have the 30th day. So in those cases, they basically, what they do is they extend the loan another couple of days. You pay a daily interest on those couple of days, and then your loan basically starts from the first. Now we used to show an odd days here. It was kind of confusing, because, you know, now you had to calculate, okay, well, when is my first date starting and all that stuff. And now you can clearly see it's you're just entering the loan first payment date. And you know, this information is usually given to you by the lender, so it's much easier to enter. And basically, how we calculate it from the loan first payment date is we also need a mechanism to know that's used by the lender. So let's look at the lenders here. Sorry, it's in the finance lenders. So I'm going to be editing this this lender, and here you can see there are different options for each lender. It can be the first payment may be due in 1 month, 30 days, or 45 days. So what that means is, let's say, for example, you got the loan on the 30th, and their policy is 1 month, but the next month, let's say it's February. So the first payment would be due in that case, and let's say there are 28 days on that particular February. Your first payment date would be due on the 28th, if the lender's policy is 1 month. But if it's 30 days, then it will be due on the 2nd of March. And if it's 45 days, then it will be 17th of March. So and we basically take that regular first payment date and then use it to calculate the odd days in the deal. And that's how we calculate the daily interest, and then we show it over here. The interest is calculated automatically. And another one that we introduced here is the equal payments option. So usually there is a problem with the last payment of the loans, and each lender has different policies about the last payment. But a lot of them actually require equal payments. So what that means is, if the loan does not fit, let's say you're planning on paying the loan back in 6 years, which is 72 months, and the loan amount is not equally divisible by 72. In those cases, well, we adjust the interest, total interest, and that's how we arrive at an equal payments calculation, which is usually the method utilized by the lenders. Let's see. We also have some new fields. One of them is the dealer number, the official dealer number for each location, or it can be on a global site-wide basis. So I'm going to go to the admin locations. These basically show you if you have multiple stores, you can set up each store here as a different location. And here You can see we can now enter the dealer number. So this dealer number is the official dealer number, and it is utilized in some of the forms, especially in California and Michigan and some other states. The other one that we have is the salesperson number, which is again an official number that you get from DMV, and that's configuration per user. So each user may have a different salesperson number, and here you can see that you can enter that. Another one is let's go to our deals, and one of the important ones that has been coming for that has been requested for quite some time is the actual cash value. And let's look at here in the structure tab. So here you can see we got the trade-in trade allowance, and this basically says, you know, if you're taking a trade-in, how much are you going to be paying for it? Let's say it's $5,000, and the actual cash value, like as you can see, is automatically entered as $5,000. But it may not be the case, so you may be actually overpaying something, and you know, you may want to keep track of the difference as a cost to you. For whatever reason, to get the deal working, you're paying more than the actual cash value of the vehicle. So let's say the vehicle is actually worth $3,000, and let's say we're selling this vehicle for $10,000. So let's save the deal. We go to recap section, which shows us the overall profit for the deal. So here you can see our total revenue is $10,400, but you can see that we lost some money on trade, and the total cost is $2,000, and our profit right now is $8,400. Let's see. We show the license plate now. It is utilized in some of the forms. We added a county field for the customer addresses. This is usually very useful for tax purposes. Now, one of the other things that has been requested for quite some time is uncontracting a deal. So as you can see, for example, this is a contracted deal, and I'm going to go to the vehicle that was sold. And when you go to the deal, you can see that these are the deals done for the vehicle, and this last one was contracted. And now you can actually set uncontract. Now, one of the things, I mean, you need to be careful with the uncontract option, because it's got a lot of undo operations that is needed for the deal. Let's say, for example, you set up the deal, you created the vehicle, and you're entering a new vehicle as you're entering the deal. It's possible. You may be selecting an existing vehicle, or you may be entering a new vehicle. You may be entering a new trade. You may be entering a new customer, or new lender. So these options may not have been in the system prior to contracting the deal. Now, what is the system to do when you uncontract that deal? Well, they are kept as is, but they're just set unsold. The sale information for the vehicle basically just goes away, and it is kept in the deal. But as you can see, you can actually edit the sale information outside of the deal as well. So that's why it presents a particularly challenging problem. If you edited the sale information, edited the insurance information, or anything else outside of the deal, and then you try to uncontract it, you're going to be losing this data. So that's why we show a lot of warning here as to what's going to be happening. We're going to be deleting all the sale information about the vehicle. If you entered any payments for the vehicle, or participation information, trade information, loans, etc., they're going to get deleted. And let's say this is usually useful for you just close the deal, you know that nothing has changed, you just want to uncontract it, change something quickly, and then recontract it, and that is perfectly fine. And right now that's what we did. And if I go to the vehicle now, as you can see, there are some deals, but this is not sold yet. So let's go back to the deal, and let's say I want to reduce my documentation fee, and then I want to recontract this deal, and now it's recontracted. So now this is the vehicle screen. As you can see, now it's recontracted. The sale price is $10,000, and here you can see in the summary screen that my documentation fee now is reduced. And one of the things that we also introduced in this release, you may have seen this already, but these little drop downs next to each field show the possible options that you can utilize. Now I'm not going to go so much in detail into this because we already created a video about this, but very briefly, you can set different options, quick values, and you can even set default values for these fields in the deal. And you can set different county tax values, and if it's California, it's going to get automatically synced. And you may have realized we also save the information automatically as you're switching between tabs. Now each tab in the deal became a separate screen. Before they were all just one giant screen, which was reducing the performance. And now this allows us to increase the performance and allow for new expansions in the future. Now there are quite a bit of enhancements in the forms section. Let's look at some of the forms. One thing that we did is we were relying on the browser plugins for the form outputs. We were utilizing a technology called FDF, and it is a slightly older technology with Adobe introducing different releases at different times. It did cause quite a bit of problems, so we decided to actually switch back to pure PDF output. And this actually reduces the headaches. And in iPad, for example, if you want to view a particular form, these interactive fields are not available, and they get deleted. So we actually introduced an option where we can completely flatten out for you. So as you can see, now there are like no text boxes on the form, no interactive fields. So that certainly helps with the iPads. As you can see, there's no text fields. Another one that we introduced in this sprint, in this release, is the form groups. Now, let's go, for example, to the admin section, forms, form groups. You can see that we don't have any form groups defined. Let's define a new form group. Test form group, and I can select anything that I want. Let's call this California form group. California forms, and I'll select California plate, or power of attorney, registration, bill of sale, and title release, or yeah. Let's add the form group. So now you can see this, and let's go to our sold vehicles. This is the last one that we sold. Now you can generate the forms from the document, from the deal side, or from the vehicle directly if it's a sold vehicle, which is what I'm going to do for now. And here you can see we now have the California forms. I want to select view the selected forms. So when I select this, it automatically checks the necessary forms. I can add on to it for each individual form generation. As you can see, this is bill of sale attached into the title registration, the buyer information is automatically filled in. Obviously, in this case, there's not a lot of information about the buyer. I think this one is title holder release, and this is the power of attorney. All put into one nice package. Now you can email these forms as well, or view them, and if you want to email, you just enter the email address and send like that. I believe you can actually configure your fax gateway with this email as well, if you have an email to fax gateway, and basically fax all these forms directly to your customer, or fax them. What else? We have a lot of new forms, some of which you already saw: California bill of sale, registration, title transfer, release of liability, title release, agreement to provide insurance. This is a very nice form. Usually this is used as with dot matrix printers in California. We now have it available for regular printers. We have a Utah agreement to provide insurance. This is more a generic version of the agreement to provide insurance, and this is completely configurable. California plate application, statement of error, statement of facts. Now the purchase agreement contract is actually a retail installment contract for California. Let me show you on another configuration here. California purchase agreement, and this is a pretty big form. And in California, the retail installment contracts and the purchase contracts are the same thing. So, and this form is pretty complicated, and it is fully compliant with the DMV regulations. And we worked quite a bit on it. You can see that there's a lot of different fees, and different terms and conditions that are entered. And California law is pretty specific as to what you can enter here. Like this section that has to be right above the signature line. This section has to be right above the signature line. This has to be visible with like at least 10-point font. This text has to be in red, and all that stuff. What else is there? We have new Colorado forms. You can see some of them here. Colorado registration. What else? VIN verification, out-of-state insurance, duplicate title request, which is used when you don't have the title for the vehicle. Rebuild from salvage. Evidence of insurance, limited power of attorney. No, I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but you can check them out. Contact us and check it out in the system yourself. VO document, we have a lot of new standard documents. IRS Form 8300 for cash transactions over $10,000. What else is there? Notice to cosigner, power of attorney. This is a generic power of attorney that's configurable. And when I say it's configurable, you can just go to the admin section, forms, and here you can see all the settings regarding these different forms. Contract cancellation option agreement for California, for example. You can configure it. You can enter these. I mean, like I said, these are required by law as to what you should be entering. So I would not suggest messing around with the different values. But let's say your default restocking fee is different. You can enter it here. Days restriction, mileage restriction. Let's look at some of the other ones. Guarantee of title settings, for example. And and optional goods and services disclosure, disclosure of credit bureau, power of attorney. This is a generic power of attorney that I was saying before, limited power of attorney. We have quite a bit of other forms as well. One of them is the retail installment contracts from Wolters Kluwer, which is it's almost universally recognized by all lenders. So here, for example, you can see Utah retail installment contract. It may take a little bit of time because it's a relatively big form. So you can see here. What else is there? I think that's about it. I mean, we have some of the credit union forms. You can see here, Mountain America credit union applications. Some credit unions require their own credit application. And you can see here that we built one, for example, for Cyprus Credit Union. So if you have any such credit unions that you would like to work with, we can set them up. Now we have a lot of new fields in the vehicle exports. Let's go to reports, vehicle exports, and you can set up new exports here. These are the export fields, and you can enter all sorts of new information here: seller address, buyer address, purchase age, turn days, total revenue, total cost, outstanding payment, and custom fields that you entered for the vehicle: make, model and trim, external stock number, color, and all that stuff. We have in the Autotrader, so as far as the online marketing goes, this online distribution, so now we have multiple locations. You can enter multiple locations for the Autotrader feed. Different locations can have their own accounts. Now the websites, now I'm gonna go to our demo website. Let's go to the vehicles available here. You can see that the locations, it can be filtered now, and here it says what location the vehicle is in. So this definitely helps if you have multiple locations. And another one that we have is now you can actually have multiple joint applicants in the credit application. And finally, if you go to one of the vehicles, let's go to, for example, one of the vehicles that we display here, 542. I'll go to vehicle 542, and let's say, for example, you want to display, you know, for this vehicle, let's say we're asking $32,000. Let's say you actually want to display $32,000 for eBay, Autotrader, and all the online avenues. But if somebody came to your website, you wanted to display $30,000 because, well, you're not going to be paying as much commission. And here now, I'm going to be refreshing this. And now the price became $30,000. And if I were to try to send it to Autotrader or Craigslist, for example, you post to Craigslist. Here you can see the price is going to be showing $32,000. So that's about it. There are quite a bit of enhancements. Call us for more information and your demo account. Thank you.